Welcome back, my friends, to a fantastic episode of my weekly mobile gaming recap that features one of the most unique endless runners I've ever played on mobile till date, a new highly polished RPG hero collector, and a casual fast-paced racing game. I'm gonna let you guys know at the end of the video which game was my favorite game of this week, and remember that you can also find all the download links for these games, both for Android and for iOS, and the link to my Patreon page and just a bunch of other links that you might find useful in the description box down below this video. So if you, just like me, and I'm sure many other who are watching this video right now, have been super frustrated that you can't find actual good mobile games because Google Play and the App Store just keeps throwing absolute garbage games your way, then my friends, you've come to the right place because I've covered almost 1,000 mobile games here on the channel already, and I'm always on the lookout for the very best ones to share with you guys. And I'm gonna continue that tradition right now, right here, with today's first game called Nightstream, which is a game I'm really excited about because it has got to be one of the most unique forward runners I've played recently. It has a great futuristic art style, both story and endless game modes, and at less than 100,000 downloads, it's also a bit of a hidden gem that you most likely haven't heard about before. Now, the game has us surf through a sci-fi city on a hovering surfboard while avoiding obstacles and enemies, but what truly sets it apart is that we're not limited to moving in the typical 3 lanes found in most other runners. Instead, we can surf on literally any surface, even the walls and the roof in this game, by swiping to freely and gradually move our character from side to side and up and down. What I really liked about this game is that this control system allows for super precise movement, and the freedom it creates is perfectly utilized by the level design to make an awesome gameplay experience where we can even fall off the tracks if we're not careful. Along the way in one of these levels, we pick up power-ups such as coin magnets and even missiles that fire at the drones that occasionally try to destroy us. And although some might find the campaign missions too difficult and maybe even too lengthy as well, we can at least freely replay them since there's no energy system limiting us. Nightstream monetizes through occasional advertisements and then in-app purchases up to $4.99 to remove the ads and instantly acquire more in-game currency that we can use to buy vanity cosmetics for both our character and the surfboard. Since the very same currency is also earned through gameplay, the monetization is very relaxed and no purchase is really necessary to enjoy the game. It can be played offline, takes up 494 MB of space, and it's such an easy recommendation for any fan of casual arcade games because I think you're gonna have a great time with this game if you do decide to check it out. But if what you've really been looking for is a game you can easily spend tens of hours on every single week and you can continue playing for months on end, then maybe this next game called Alchemy Stars is more up your alley. Because this game is a polished hero collector RPG with a refreshingly engaging strategic combat system, a bunch of interesting game modes, and an overall style and UI that feels inspired by Arknights. The best part about the game is absolutely its fun combat system that takes place on a playing field made up of a grid of tiles with different colors. The team of 5 heroes we assemble to deal with the enemies on this grid each belong to one of these 4 colors, and to attack we simply drag from our leader's tile to connect similarly colored tiles. And when we then release our finger, only our leader and the heroes that match the color of the connected tiles get to actually attack, which makes team composition very important in this game. Every hero will also have both an active skill and a skill that automatically triggers if enough tiles of that hero's colors are linked, which means we can achieve some really cool combo attacks if we plan our moves properly. This also makes positioning incredibly important, and it adds a deep level of strategy to the gameplay. Now, the game does have an auto system, by the way, but it's so bad that active play is definitely necessary for most levels, and I like it that way as it forces a more engaging gameplay experience while still allowing all the levels to be autoed to farm resources. Our heroes of course come in different rarities and are unlocked through a gacha system, after which we can upgrade them in various ways to grow stronger. The gacha system is relatively generous and we receive a decent amount of premium currency for completing levels. Alchemy Stars monetizes through in-app purchases that do allow us to progress faster, but since there's no meaningful PvP systems and there are no paywalls, it doesn't have a big impact on the free-to-play experience. Playing a level does require stamina though, which depletes relatively quickly, so you can't play the game for hours at a time. You need to be online to play the game, it takes up 2.6 GB of space, and because of its high level of polish and the combat system that is more interesting than your average gacha game, Alchemy Stars serves as a pretty good introduction to the genre if you haven't played any of these games yet. Now up next we have Bandits Racing, and I think you guys are actually gonna really enjoy this one because it's a fun and fast-paced racing game where we attempt to escape the cops while wreaking havoc by destroying as much of the world as possible to increase our TV ratings and of course earn a bunch of cash. The game is viewed top-down from a TV car chase helicopter, and instead of being forced to constantly drive forward and and follow a narrow track, we can drive in any direction and freely explore the open world as we see fit, as long as we don't get caught by the cops, of course. The further we get, the more aggressive the cops also become though, and we'll soon have to avoid spike strips and police car barricades around almost every corner. But this is where it gets awesome though, because we also have a few tricks up our sleeves, and so if a police car gets close enough, we can tap it to smash it with our car, which leads to lovely over-the-top explosions and better TV ratings. Oh, it's so great. Now, quite a few racing games on mobile suffer from bad control schemes, but they're nicely calibrated in this game, and they allow for some pretty crazy stunts and donuts once you really get the hang of them. Between playthroughs, we can spend the cash we've earned on upgrading the speed, the smash power, and the handling of our vehicle, or buy entirely new cars. The graphics are slightly dated in this game, but the slow motion and the special effects look great, and the only major downside is that the very unconventional menu UI and UX takes a bit to get used to. Smash Bandits Racing monetizes through incentivized ads and then in-app purchases to acquire new vehicles faster. Almost every car can also be unlocked for free, but it does take a lot of grinding to earn enough currency to unlock them all through gameplay. But on the bright side though, we don't actually need the fancier cars to be able to continue enjoying the game. The game can be played offline, it takes up 247 megabytes of space, and although it isn't exactly new anymore, it still holds up as a fun casual racing game. Okay, so I think my favorite game this week has got to be Nightstream, but I want to say that Alchemy Stars was definitely one of the more interesting strategy gacha games I've played recently, so that will have to get a close second place. But let me know if you agree or disagree with that in the comment section down below, or let me know if there are any genres I'm forgetting here. I'm always looking for new RPG games, always looking for new, shooter games, adventure games, but let me know down there if there are any genres I haven't covered recently but you'd like to see more of, and I'll see what I can do about that. And then before you move on with your day, I hope you'll leave a like if you enjoyed this video, because now all that's left to do is to remind you to just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around. If we probably plan our moves. Probably. Each hero, wow. The game is viewed top down from a kiwi. From a kiwi. YouTube.